Hey, I'm Craig.
And I'm Regina.
And this is Homegrown, a series about our journey as we turn a house into a self-sustaining home.
We are going to be growing our own food, capturing water, and to generate some of our own energy.
To be sustainable as we can be in suburbia. So let's get homegrown. G'day, welcome, episode 3 of Retrofitting Our Garden. And, well, today, lots of things happened. Big steps, big changes. For one, as you can probably see, plants are in the background, aren't they? They're here. So we did the big move last weekend. So as you can see, we've got the plants in. Now the other thing is we've also bring the chickens. You can spot them. There they are. So I managed to find an old dog house for the chicken coop. And what I've done is put it on legs, and that's just raised them off the ground, and then we'll put some mesh on the floor so when they do poo, falls through on the ground, fertiliser. So their waste is my gold. So with the plants, we've got a variety of different stuff going on. So we've got avocado, we've got macadamia, we've got mangoes, apples, sweet potatoes, figs, citruses, we've got bananas, you name it, it's all here. So they're in pots at the moment, but eventually they'll be in the ground. But I'll probably wait realistically for a year, because really, if you're gonna put something in the ground, it's gonna be permanent. You really wanna make sure that it's in the right spot, especially if we're gonna have quite a lot of trees, food forest happening, and potentially could be putting shade where we don't want shade, or we could be getting a lot of sun where you don't really want sun. The downside is it might take a little while to figure out. The good side is we're going to be observing and watching all those things happen, so then we can find the best spot to put our plants. So at the moment I've just scattered them out, trying to put the ones that like the sun on the outer edge. Well, we've got the softer plants closer to the house, a bit more shade. Also I've got the younger coffees under the veranda, so they just get reflection of the sun. Because those guys, you know, they don't live in the Mediterranean, but that's where they are. So if you remembered in the last episode, we sheet mulched those areas where we found all the double G prickles. But the downside of that is that now the mulch has created like a desert. Which isn't so bad in winter, you know, it doesn't really matter too much, but we're going into summer and that is going to be reflecting heat off the ground and it's going to scorch a lot of things. So my plan today is really to get some ground cover going. So the way I'm going to do that is kind of mimic a way like a forest works. A forest is typically made up of 4 distinct layers. So first you have the forest floor, which is made up of plants that thrive on the ground. Then we have the understory. This is where shrubs, ferns and herbaceous plants thrive. And then above that is the canopy layer. This is where majority of fruiting and nut trees are going to live. And then towering above everything is the emergent canopy trees. These guys are just giants that thrive in the sun. So that's typically how a forest works, and that's what we're going to be basing our garden off. But to stop the ground from scorching the plants, what we can do is put in a ground cover, and what that's going to do is absorb heaps of the heat and create a little understory for the plants. So the way I'm going to do that is we've got lots of sweet potato growing everywhere, and I'm going to plant that. And the other stuff we're going to plant is we're going to have saltbush. The saltbush is somewhat native to this area. Rosemary. Being on the coast, they're going to love the salt. Don't mind not having much water. So we're going to plant those guys, get them in there, get them early, get them established, and hopefully those guys will take and they'll start growing for our summer period. We have a lovely spring storm coming behind me, as you can see, rolling in. So we don't have much time, so we'll get this cracking and hopefully get some stuff in the ground before the rain comes. So let's get to it. Well, that's it for the ground cover. Got the salt bush, got the sweet potatoes in the ground. Luckily, we got it all done before the rain set in. So, with a bit of rain, hopefully that should get those guys going, and we'll get some ground cover for summer. There we go. There goes Brownie. Just don't have names for chickens. Just, you never know, you know. So, Brownie. Anyway, that's it for this episode. So if you'd like to follow along, click the subscribe button and like, and we'll have some more updates, and I'll show you the progression as we go. So see you next round.